Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show. And for week 15, the Dallas Cowboys travel to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. And it's what's going to be it feels like a playoff game for Buffalo. You look at the playoff picture, they really need this game here at home against the Cowboys. It's going to be a tough and cold road game for the Cowboys. It's going to be a cold game here in Buffalo. It's late in middle of December. It's going to be a cold game here. Hopefully the Cowboys can win this game here. But, yeah, as you can tell, I'm doing a preview here for the Dallas Cowboys at Buffalo Bills. I know it's Thursday, but I want to get this preview out of the way before I forget about it. But the moment the NFL schedule released, the moment the NFL released the 2023 schedule, many Cowboys fans saw a road trip to the Bills in the middle of December and immediately chalked it up as a loss. And understandably, I saw this game, I don't know if we're going to win this. Because a Texas team traveling up north that time of the year is usually a recipe for disaster. On top of the Bills have been one of the best teams in the NFL the last few years. And especially at home, they're tough to freaking beat. Well, I feel like we've reached this game now, and it's far from a Herculean task that it was supposed to be for the Dallas Cowboys. For starters, the Bills have struggled mightily this season. At the end of this game, 7-6, and just sitting outside the playoff picture, they fired their offensive coordinator a few weeks ago, Ken Dorsey, 5 weeks ago, and have seen some stabilization offense, but the Bills still haven't won games in consecutive weeks since the end of September. They've been getting better on offense with Joe Brady. They've been using a lot of pre-snap motion, a lot of motion before the snap, and they've always just been getting better, but it's not great. On top of the Bills struggling as a team, they may not even have much of a weather advantage this game. Current forecast lists a high of 48 degrees on Sunday with mild winds and a 40% chance of rain. Of course, it's not ideal weather conditions for a team headquartered in Dallas that plays home games in a dome. But it's much easier to prepare for than a snowstorm, as many feared several months ago it could have been a snowstorm, but it might be a rainstorm. So not only have these things impacted expectations for this football game, where Buffalo is currently a 2-point favorite, which kind of surprised. I know they're playing at home, but against the Cowboys who won 5 straight games. My Cowboys won 5 straight games. I know they're playing on the road, but they should be the favorite in this football game. But hey, we'll take being the underdogs. But we're playing some of the best football in the NFL right now. We've won 5 straight, and at 10-3. Are tied for the best record in the league. We also hold first place in their division right now after a comfortable win over the Eagles Sunday this past weekend. And of course, we don't control our own destiny yet. In an event that both the Cowboys and Eagles went out, Philadelphia would win the division by virtue of a better record against common opponents. Cowboys need the Eagles to lose at least one more game while also winning the rest of their games. And that's where the pressure really begins to mount this week. While Buffalo isn't a common conference foe, they are a common opponent, having narrowly lost the Eagles just 3 weeks ago. The same goes for next week's game against the Dolphins, another team that fell to Philadelphia. And the Cowboys had been one of the very best teams since the bye week, but the schedule's getting significantly harder now, with incredibly little margin for error. You can't have any margin of error, and especially in this game against the Buffalo defense. And McCarthy's talked about how December games are a good way of simulating a playoff environment without truly being a winner-go-home situation. And that's doubly true for this season's schedule. These next 3 games really feels like playoff games against Buffalo, Miami, and then Detroit. And Buffalo may not be the team they were expected to be coming into the season, but doesn't mean they're pushover. They're not going to be a pushover, especially at home. All of their losses have come within 1 score with 2 men in overtime, while 4 of their 7 wins have been by multiple scores. That's still a team that can hang with anyone, but it's just inconsistency by Buffalo, really, has been doing them in. Just too much inconsistency. And much of that has to do with their offense, which is built around Josh Allen. The multi-faced quarterback might just be the most all-around talented player in the position, but the actual results always don't reflect that. And the turnovers have been a big problem for Josh Allen. in the first half of the season. Through 10 weeks, he's thrown 11 interceptions, lost 4 fumbles, 15 total turnovers. The Bills have turned the ball over a lot more this year. And it was after the Week 10 loss when the Bills made the change at coordinator. And while Allen has been perfect, he's been playing better. He's thrown 1 interception each of the last 3 games since. But he's paired with that with 9 total touchdowns, and he hasn't fumbled the football. So he's thrown 1 interception in each of the 3 games since that firing. But he hasn't fumbled. And he has 9 total touchdowns. And he isn't the only issue with that team. They've struggled to play complete games. It seems if Allen and the offense struggles when the defense is playing well, and then the defense gets on a nosebleed when he's playing the way he's capable of. That's why Dallas has a chance against the Bills, as they're one of just 3 teams ranked in the top 10 in offensive, defense, and the special teams DVOA. But the Cowboys will need to play that way on Sunday too, because it takes a complete team effort to beat the Bills. It's impossible to know what kind of performance you'll get from Buffalo any given Sunday, which makes them dangerous. That's why it makes them dangerous. But if the Cowboys are looking at their division title, they'll need to be the better team regardless of whether or which Josh Allen shows up in this game. It's going to really be really tough to beat them. And Dak Prescott continue to make that MVP case, and it appears there are few answers to stopping this offense. This offense is one of the best in the league right now. I think it's the best. I think it's going to be tough. I went over really the preview for both teams. Went over some things. But things to note, I guess the key to note is obviously the cold weather, 48 degrees, possibly a chance of rain in this football game. So there's a chance it could be a wet football game, wet field. But I'm going to take my Dallas Cowboys to win this game here. I'm not going to say a blowout. I'll say... I might say like a 23-20 or like a 27-24 game. I don't think either team's going to dominate. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think the Cowboys will be for a tough one, but I think Dak's going to perform good again. It's going to be a really competitive game. I don't expect the Cowboys to blow on that, because playing on the road in Buffalo is always tough. And you don't know what version of Josh Allen and this Buffalo Bills team you're going to get. Like, one week they can be turnover machines. The offense is not moving well at all. And then one week they look good. You just don't know what you're going to get. But Micah and that defense has to be disruptive. Force some turnovers. Force Josh Allen to be uncomfortable. Put a lot of pressure on him. And force him to make some mistakes. Fumble. Throw a pick. Like, force something. And hopefully Dak can continue his case for the MVP. But yeah, that's my preview for this game. So it's off to see you next time I'm out. Peace.